And is private sector allowed in all the three? Of course, yes. Private sector is allowed under all the three. In fact, if you have read yesterday's newspaper or seen yesterday's news, please do let me know. Is there a proposal by Adani company to construct 2000 crore rupee worth of transmission lines in Mumbai now? Check the newspapers. Please check the newspapers. Read the newspapers. That's the reason you need to read current affairs. Day for yesterday, was there an announcement by Adani company to construct 2000 crore worth of transmission lines in Mumbai? Transmission means distribution. Transmission means transportation. So private sector is allowed in transmission. It is there. Now coming to the question, what is the difference between transmission and distribution? My dear, you want to purchase this bottle. Will you not go to the shop? But the shop will receive the bottle from a manufacturer. Apply the same logic here also. Electricity is produced in one region. It has to be transported. Now, after transportation, somebody has to purchase that and sell it to you. That is the difference between transmission and distribution. And third question, why is there a need of a transmission? Right? Do you think electricity will be produced in your city only? Do you think electricity is produced, sufficient amount is produced nearby you? No. In some regions, more electricity production. In some regions, no production. Some regions, very less. So you'll have to transport it. Apply the same logic of supply and demand. You'll understand everything. Okay. Now come to the issues. Come to the issues in the power sector. Let's go one by one. First one, high aggregate technical and commercial losses. Very, very famous, AT&C. High aggregate technical and commercial losses, AT and C. Now what is this? Right, AT and C losses, point number one. AT and C losses are basically those losses wherein the distribution company will supply electricity but doesn't earn anything. Very simple. I'll repeat the statement. AT and C losses are those losses where the distribution company will supply electricity but doesn't earn anything on this supplied electricity. For example, imagine the distribution company has supplied 100 units of electricity. They have supplied 100 units. What if out of 100 units, 20 units is because of power theft? Yes or no? What if 20 units are right because of power theft? Have you seen right people stealing power? Have you seen people stealing electricity? If you have not seen, then you have missed out something wonderful in case of India. Right? People will basically take two wires, put it on the wire, transmission wire, and directly take electricity into their home. Right? They'll say this is direct benefit transfer, although it is not legal, it is illegal. It is basically stealing electricity. So on one side, the distribution company has supplied 100 units, but out of 100 units, 20 units is loss for them. Can I call it as a part of AT&C losses? Some of the electricity will be lost in the form of heat. Some of the bills they will not be able to collect because people have moved away. Right? People have stopped making payments, etc., etc. So all of these are called as aggregate technical and commercial losses. Point number one. And in case of India, AT&C losses are very high. These are very high, right? Generally, in many of the states, even today, AT&C losses are 18%, 20%, 19%, more than 20%, etc. Second one, there's a huge distress in the distribution companies. How? Point number one, distribution company will purchase electricity from the generation company. Look at the picture and let me know. The DISCOM will purchase electricity from the GENCO, right? And after this, the DISCOM will install infrastructure to supply electricity to the customer. Now, can I say the distribution company has incurred expenditures, has spent money to supply electricity? All of you okay with this picture? Please do let me know. The DISCOM has spent money, right? Has spent certain amount of money to supply electricity. I'll call this as average cost of supply, ACS. average cost of supply. Let's say hypothetically, the distribution company will spend 5 rupees to supply 1 unit of electricity. But on the other hand, when they will supply, they will collect a bill from you. What if they collect only 4 rupee per unit? Think of it. They will supply electricity and spend 5. They will collect money from you. They'll collect only 4. Can I say it is a loss for the distribution company? Any problem here? It's a loss for the distribution company. So on one side, average cost of supply is incurred, and by supplying electricity, they will collect money from you. That is average revenue. If average cost of supply is greater than average revenue realized, can I say this will lead to losses for the distribution companies? Any problem with this? Please do let me know. Any problem? Many of you are asking, sir, why? Why does this happen? Have you seen many state governments announcing free electricity for the people? Free electricity for agriculture sector? Right? Yes or no? And in many cases, state governments through the boards will decide the unit price, will decide unit prices. That is the precise reason the average cost of supply becomes higher than the average revenue realized, and this will lead to losses for the distribution companies. Now have a look at this picture. Please have a look at this picture. Step number 1, generation company will supply electricity to the distribution company, will sell electricity. Step number 2, the distribution company will sell the electricity to the customers, collect the bills. Step number 3, the distribution company will pay the bills to the generation company. Now think of it. If the distribution company incurs losses because of higher ACS, higher AT&C, will they default on the payment to the generation company? Possible or not? Will they delay or default the payment to the generation company? And when they delay or default payment to the generation company, will the generation company default or delay payment to coal supplier? Can this happen? Can the generation company delay or default on the loans that they have taken from the banking sector? Yes, all of this is possible. And all of this generally happens in India. All of these generally happens in India. The distribution companies are incurring huge amount of losses. They are incurring huge amount of losses in India. And it's not new. Historically, they have been incurring losses. And when they incur losses, their payment to the Gencos will either be delayed or they will default. And when they will delay, the Gencos will start delaying their payment to the banks. In many cases, these accounts have been declared as non-performing assets. In many cases, the coal suppliers have stopped supplying coal to the generation companies. All of this will happen because of higher AT&C and higher ACS compared to ARR. Done? Apart from this, what about the fuel availability? What about the fuel availability? You have more than 50% of the production, you get it from coal. We do not have very good quality coal in India. We import coal. We import coal from rest of the world. Second, we are promoting solar energy in India. Yes, all of you, I'm pretty sure all of you heard of this. We are promoting renewable energy. 175 gigawatts by 2022. Now this has been more than doubled. 500 gigawatts, 500 gigawatts by 2030 now. 500 gigawatts by 2030. So basically, we want to promote solar energy, wind energy. But to promote solar energy, you need solar panels. Do we have sufficient production capacity of panels in India? No, we import this into India. We import solar panels into India. What about nuclear energy? Only part of the total energy comes from the nuclear energy. But even then, what about nuclear power plants? We purchase it from USA. We purchase it from Europe, etc. And what about nuclear material? We import nuclear material also. So there is a lot of issues regarding fuel adequacy in India. Lot of issues regarding fuel adequacy. Now, next problem, cross subsidization. Next problem is cross subsidization. Sir, why cross subsidization is a problem? A farmer is there, will use electricity for irrigation purposes. It is provided free of a cost. Free of cost, right? Free electricity is provided. Please tell me, don't you think farmers will use more electricity, draw out, pull out more water from underground? Yes or no? As a result of this, underground water levels will start falling, depleting very fast. Recharge is happening very slow, but water levels are falling very fast. And that's a problem. This happens because you are cross subsidizing. For some, we are providing free of a cost. For others, you are charging very high amount. Even in case of many state governments which provide free electricity for all houses, please think of it. Do you think all the houses require free electricity? And some of you will say, no sir, but they are not providing free. Up to 200 units, up to 300 units they are providing. Whatever the number of units they are providing, irrespective of it, do you think every household in India requires free electricity? No. Those who have capacity to pay, let them pay. Those who do not have capacity, target them, provide it to them. Right? So there are a lot of issues regarding cross subsidization. And finally, do we have 24/7 electricity supply? Do we have 24/7 electricity supply in India? Absolutely no. Some of you are saying yes. No, we do not have it. We do not have it, my dear. We do not have it. 24/7, we do not have it. Only in large number of cities, right, which are very large cities, we have almost 24 hours. Right, I do agree. In large cities in India, we have almost 24 hours. But what about, right, smaller cities? What about villages? Right, so I hope you understand. Right, do not look at only your city and come to a conclusion. But sir, I live in Delhi. Right, throughout the year, I have almost 24 hours. Have you experienced a summer in many of the cities in India? Have you experienced a summer in villages in India? Don't you think you'll come across a concept of loading during summers in India? I hope you understand my point here. Right? Have you come across the term load shedding during summers in India, especially in smaller cities and villages? Right? 6 hours, no electricity. Right? 4 hours, no electricity. And in villages, even for 6 hours when electricity is available, it will not be two phase. It will be a single phase, where only bulbs will be used. Right? A fridge cannot be used. Right? Let's say engines cannot be used, motors cannot be used, etc. etc. So I hope you understand. Right? Even today, we do not have 24/7 365 bar 365 electricity supply throughout India. Throughout India, it is not available. Okay. So that is basically the concern that has been raised regarding energy security. And please understand, there are repercussions. There are problems. There are problems with not having energy sufficient amount of electricity. Will it affect industrial output? Will it affect learning abilities of the children? Will it affect, right, let's say many other activities of the people? Of course, yes. There are a lot of repercussions regarding this. Okay, right. So this is basically a problem regarding energy security. So what